Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, Abuja. And the program is The People's Embassy. Well, last week we had quite an interesting and educating moment on the show, on the program. And so, in continuation of what we were talking about last week, we're going to flow along that line. And of course, I'd like to remind us that the People's Embassy is a specially packaged forum where experts will be educating the listener as well as members of the public on their rights to quality service from airlines, travel agents, and other issues relating to travels in general. Now, also, the program will focus attention on migration issues relating to information from embassies, Immigration Service, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as well as that of Interior for prospective travelers within and outside Nigeria. Now, I won't be doing this all by myself. I'd like to let us know that in the studio to actually handle this very enormous task of talking about this phenomenon that's been bothering quite so many nations. It's taken a whole global dimension. I have in the studio with me Lois Adams. She is an anti-human trafficking campaigner. Good afternoon, Lois, and welcome to the People's Embassy.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
And also with us is Celestine Ije. He's going to be giving us, do I call it the intellectual, the academic? But then he's also very, very vast on issues relating to migration. Good afternoon, Celestine, and welcome to the
Good
program.
afternoon, listeners.
And as you're listening to us on the program, The People's Embassy, my name is Inyene Ibanga, and I did tell you I won't be doing this all by myself. So stay tuned as we'll be talking more about this particular phenomenon. Good afternoon and welcome to the program, The People's Embassy. Well, as you follow us on the program, you're the listener because this is especially out to inform and educate all of us Nigerians. One way or the other, we're bound to travel someday. You just wouldn't know when that's going to happen. But the fact of the matter is that as you listen to us on the show, you'd also love to participate, to be a part of this conversation, or even share your own life experience with us, or perhaps lend a word of counsel, to help solve this situation or check this particular trend that's been doing our country very bad image. And so the number for you to call in when the time is appropriate is 08189991011. But that's not going to be right at this moment. In the course of the program, just keep listening. 08189991011. That's the number you can reach us on. But first, let's go into the program. Last week, I had the privilege of being in the studio with Celestine, and he was talking about the factors that actually fuel human trafficking. You started with the individual, and then you talk about societal factors, and then you came down to government. You were actually talking on government, how the government actually, unconsciously I should say.
Good afternoon, viewers and listeners. Those three factors are very, very, very sincerely and they are really walking up and making people migrate illegally or irregularly. Because over time, government has not come out to purposefully prosecute a lot of people that have been arrested for carrying out this crime. Illegal migration is crime against humanity. Because if somebody denies you your rights or you misuse your rights, in itself is a crime. Government has not also provided the basic necessity for people to enjoy the best of life. If you go about those countries where people intend to migrate illegally, you find out that the basics are just there. There's no difference between those people and ourselves. And you find out that we end up even indirectly developing the economy more for them than we develop ourselves. Down here, you hardly can get 24 hours light. You can hardly get good road. The politician will be quick to say, oh, it's not always like that. But over time, the last 20 to 21 years of our democratic time, we have still not left where we were as at 1990 to date. If I could remember as a little child growing up in the city of Benin, there have been woman trafficking, or people have traveled illegally those days, but it was not as much as it is this time because people have lost hope in the system. If I will give you an example, our parents, when they, after putting 25 years, they look forward to their pension. But these days, our parents can't look up to their pension. And their best investments are we. So what they do, that they make sure that they use us to get a return on their investment. A case in point was a mother that had to sell all her jewelries and all what she had because she didn't have a pension to live on, to send a child across the border through the Sahara Desert to the Mediterranean to Europe, just because one day she hoped that when the child gets across to the other side, the power of the euro will smell across to her and she will be also able to live a good life. Government is not providing a health system. The educational system is also down. There are a lot of things the government is not doing in making sure that the welfare and the security of the Nigerian citizen is well protected. You find out that people don't trust government again. So it's like between the devil and the deep blue sea. Why not I take one? And the one I take is that suits me. I go across Europe. I go across the desert. If I die, I die. If I live, I live. At least I shouldn't be anyone. So the risk is better taken than not taken. So our government should live up to expectation. For those people that have been arrested, they should prosecute them too, so that they will be as an example to other people not to carry out the same crime or embark on the same crime. Thank you.
Now, Lloyd, in listening to all of this, he actually, last week, he talked about the individual, those factors that actually lie with the individual. I know you talk about something like greed. Then he also mentioned the society. We want to see, we just glamorize all this wealth as they come in. Okay, as they come in, nobody cares the sources of that wealth. All they think about is Mr. A's son, Mr. B's daughter has acquired so much, or he or she traveled out. Why can't you, my own child, do the same too? What is your take on that?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Nigerians. Yeah, last week I talked about, narrating some stories of victims I have met. If a trafficker wants to traffic, for example, 100 persons in a community, he or she can do anything, in that community to entice, more parents to, releasing their children, their female, especially the female children, to them to be trafficked abroad. Then there is another aspect of, to all these things. Even most of these victims I have met, before they were trafficked abroad, they had already faced, enslavement in Nigeria. They've already faced forced labor. They were trafficked from their parents to big madams in Nigeria here who have tormented them, who have used them and drove them out of the house. And some of them confessed how they slept on the street.
Excuse me if I got you correctly. Are you saying that within Nigeria itself,
yes,
we have this trafficking? That's
yes.
maybe trafficking or shipping these children from the rural areas, from their hometowns,
from their parents,
to some of these
through agents.
Okay.
There are agents who take these children, even some at age 6. What will make a parent release his or her child at age 6?
That means from that tender age, the child is made to live with these big madams within Nigeria. But under restricted environment, I suppose.
Yes. And some of these madams, they have no sympathy for the child.
So it's like kind of grooming them ahead of the international...
ahead of the bigger, journey, outside Nigeria. So they have already faced, torments in various, madams, hands of these madams before they were trafficked abroad. So when I hear the government talk about Nigerian children were found in the Mediterranean Sea, Nigerian children were found found in this place, I blame the government, because why don't we, support the protection of the Child Rights Act? Let the child be protected. Let the child be protected from, leaving his or her parent to via this agent and living with those madams that have no sympathy for the child, than, rescuing the child after the child had almost, losing his or her soul to this trafficking, this torment of a teen. So I feel the government should try and save and protect the child than trying to rehabilitating the child. It's like trying to rehabilitating a lost soul back, to the society. Trying to reintegrating a lost soul back to the society. To me, I feel it is cheaper and better for government to protect the child, even at its infant stage, than what we are doing today. And I also feel that the government is not fair to the child.
Now, Celestine said something about the individual, the greed aspect. Now, the child is in the middle of nowhere now, because his or her parents have already sold their soul to the devil, because all they're thinking about is the material gain or financial gains. Now, government, as it were, that is supposed to protect every child, irrespective of whether the child has a parent or not, falls as responsibility of government to protect that child, is failed. Now, the individual, the child himself now grows to fend for his or herself, and in the process wants to go into those areas that will fetch him or her this good life. Would you say the child also has some fault?
Yeah, depends on the way a child, was brought up. If you, as a child, if you find yourself at age 6, from age 6, in the hands of a woman who is not your biological mother, tormenting you, so you will grow up and, get used to, that lifestyle. That child is certainly going to be different from a child,
Parents, in most cases, and the society actually contribute to the environment. And it's really, really sad. We'll be taking a short break as we go for some commercial messages. But I'd like to remind us that we're still on the program, The People's Embassy. And this is the program where we bring in experts who would educate the listener as well as members of the public on the rights to quality service from airlines, travel agents, and related issues to general travel. Also, we are focusing on the issue of migration as it affects us as a country, as a people, and even as individuals. Stay tuned as we return on the program after this commercial break.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are reminded of the need to be law-abiding, especially in areas of road use and illegal squatting. Please note that the Ministerial Joint Task Force is mandated to ensure that the existing ban on the use of unpainted vehicles as commercial taxis is enforced, and that of minibuses and coasters alike, to ensure that a complete ban on the use of motorcycles as means of transportation within the capital city center is enforced, to ensure the restriction of tricycles, keke to estates and designated areas within and around the capital city center, to ensure the eradication of the activities of commercial sex workers in the city, to ensure the eradication of other public nuisance such as drug trafficking, peddling, and removal of all illegal shanties and squatters, to rid the city of illegal motor parks and bus stops within the capital city. Let us together build an FCT of our dreams. Those arrested will be prosecuted. Be law-abiding.
Bonanza, bonanza, bonanza. Manufacturers, take. SMEs, take. Importers, take. Papa and mama, take.
What about me?
My pikin, you're protected. Everybody is protected. SON is organizing a stakeholders meeting on the SON Act 2015. Venue, Merit House, Maitama, Abuja. The date is Tuesday, 13th March. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Business community, importers, SMEs, traders, and the general public are cordially invited. Come and see how you are protected by the Standard Organization of Nigeria 2015 Act. SON, improving life through standards.
Farmers plus header people. He good make we hear what the minister for FCT, Malam Muhammad Musa Bello talk. Him tell all the people that where they carry cow walk up and down. Make them for go settle for where government give them for grazing for inside FCT. This go help reduce them suffer head to walk up and down. It go there easy for government to feel support them. Make we say no to kili bonu plus scatter. The society need headers plus farmers. So make food for them for we for all of us to chop. Make headers no enter people farmland. Farmers report anybody when no one hear word. Make it for here way. Make anybody no put the law for them handle. Make we come together to build peace. Now Federal Capital Territory Administration they bring for this message.
Hukumar kula da babban birnin tarayya Abuja na jawo hankalin Fulani makiyaya cewa ya zama wajibi da su bi kiran ministan babban birnin tarayya Malam Muhammad Musa Bello da su rungumi zama a wuraren da aka keɓe musu don kiwo a yankin domin rage wahalhalun da ke tattare da yadda suke yin sana'arsu a yankin. Zama a wuraren da aka keɓe don kiwo zai kawo musu sauki musamman ta fannin yawan tashi da barin matsuguni domin cirani, kuma zai baiwa gwamnati daman samun su cikin sauki don taimaka musu da ababen da suke bukata kamar al'amuran da suka shafi likitocin da ke kula da dabbobi. Ilahirin al'umma na bukatar makiyaya da manoma domin samun wadatan kayan abinci. Makiyaya a kula da hanyoyin da aka kayyade domin ku a babban birnin tarayya, a kauce ma shiga gonaki. Manoma kuma a bada rahoton duk wanda ya keta wannan dokan. Kar wani ko wasu al'umma su dauki doka a hannunsu. Mu haɗa hannu domin samar da wanzuwar zaman lafiya a tsakaninmu. Wannan sako ne daga hukumar kula da babban birnin tarayya Abuja, wato FCTA.
agwo anakwo kan ba filo FCT na Abuja ege owe minister o we dafe ege yola ba bwa ka hwe hwa hwi hwa nakwo na ba na tabe je gugbo ba kunsun na hwani hwa hwa ma ege na nakwo zokwe na ya hwe FCT na Abuja nu adabe je anyawu kunsun na hwani hukuma FCT na Abuja ba ya hwani lo ba ye anakwo kan lo mba na hedo na hwani bodo na anakwo kan hwe jina ba hwa ku ye hukuma akusasaji akukọ dada agwo anakwo kan hwe to lo ahwanu zokon ahwani hwetolo agwo zoko na gaba na baba kamba na kochon hwebe ya na bwado na ba ya mwaiki agwo na hwani hwesase na je lafiya FCT na Abuja bade kwen kwakun ege FCT minister Malam Muhammad Musa Bello.
bandaɓe waynaɓe fulɓe ɗum nangi noto en noddago ministre jo lamorde lesdi ndi Mouhamadou Moussa Bello dow waynaɓe fulɓe nattito durduɗe ɓe nokkana to lamorde lesdi ndi nde Abuja hakkude mabɓe remoɓe mi heɓa jonde jaam e ɗawta risque takanas to ɓe keeɓi ɓe joɗake ndebi guere nattuki nde ladde wallira kadi gomnati heɓa waɗanaɓe ko handi annaɓe to jaamo mabɓe e nanta dabbaji mabɓe bandaɓe to en jaaɓu tawe en kaɓa hakkude meɗen remoɓe nde fina Allah fo leñol lesdi ndi e giɗi gaynako e giɗi demowo gen jonde jaam e jahargal yesso risque mayri bandaɓe waynaɓe jaaɓe joɗo en to darduɗe ɗe lamorde lesdi ndi Abuja nokkani e ngam jahargal yeso hakkunde meɗen e remoɓe to koɓe fu jaɓa nangire aybe de handaki en fu meɗen en kawtu koɓe geyras kinki resku lamorde lesdi ndi Abuja lilal ɗon ngal ardungal lamorde lesdi ndi Abuja lildani en.
Making the world a better place every day. Human Rights Radio 101.1, redefining broadcasting.
Welcome back to the program People's Embassy, live on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, Abuja. My name is Inyene Ibanga, and of course in the studio with me, doing justice to this particular disturbing development and trying to proffer ways towards stopping this and discouraging Nigerians from this ugly trend. I have with me in the studio Lois Adams, an anti-human trafficking campaigner, and also Celestine EJ. Before we went on that break, we were talking about some of these issues as they affect us individuals. Now, I also understand that most times different regions, different sections of Nigeria have targeted, foreign locations. Yes, you find out that essentially the entire country is affected by this ugly trend. But while the Southeasterners will be targeting one part of, the developed world, the northern, victims will be thinking of going towards some other part of the world. I want to find out from you, Celestine. Is it Europe, Asia, Middle East? I mean, what is the dimension when you look at it geographically from Nigeria here? How this trend goes?
If I would start, it's like Nigeria has been recolonized by some colonial masters, or we have been recolonized by our mindset. Nigeria has been divided into, like we said, the regions: the north, the south, the east, and the west. For those in the east, the destination is usually South America, Far Asia, like Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and their likes. Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, and the rest of them. While those in the West are usually America, Britain, Canada. Then those people in the South migrate towards Europe, and sometimes Middle East. While those in the South, and the North, goes towards the Middle East and the Arabians. People who have followed their likes. It's like, okay, when I go here, I'm probably going to see my same kind of people, so it's easier for me to migrate in case I have challenges, or probably the person that is migrating is from your own community, so it takes you to a place where it's well vast. Like if you go to South Africa, you find that there's a particular region that has dominance there. Yes. If you go to South Africa, if you go to East Africa also, you find dominance of a particular tribe. If you even go to Egypt, Morocco, you find a particular tribe. If you go to Saudi Arabia, Middle East, you find a particular region or a tribe. If you go to Malaysia, so it's like Nigeria, we are really colonizing ourselves by our mindset or by the way we migrate illegally, or especially illegal migration. Because when you talk about legal migration, a lot of people migrate to the country of their interests. But when they are doing illegal migration, they migrate to these concentrates. Asia, Middle East.
In essence, meaning that perhaps maybe the sponsors or the traffickers actually have their own focus on those countries. So you, the victim, you do not have a choice.
Sometimes the individuals have a choice, depending on what he's able to see. He sees that the guy is looking good, and he thinks that particular part of the world offers him a better opportunity. It's like taking a fish from a water, and if a pond offers him a better opportunity, or a swimming pool, he will probably take one. So Nigeria is divided, and is becoming a global issue, because anything Nigeria gets involved goes out of hand. That's one thing I've noticed in the world. It's not that Nigerians are not only the one migrating illegally. We have a lot of Asians also migrating into Nigeria illegally and legally. You find out that most of them, they come as cook. No, they don't. They come as cook or they come as engineer. But when you go in beneath it, you find out that they were also migrated illegally into the country because of cheap labor. So you find out that while we are going outside to look for greener pastures, people are also coming to Nigeria to look for greener pastures. But Nigeria has become the focal point, especially in Africa, because we are the big brothers in Africa. Everybody looks up to us, and every black man in the world is a Nigerian by default. Mm-hmm. So anybody you find that is being caught illegally, the next
could also always claim to be a Nigerian.
We always declare, I'm a Nigerian. So he will tell you that he's being prosecuted for one crime or the other. So there are always stories that every focus is always on Nigeria. And for me, I've read a lot of books, a lot of friction books, a lot of crime friction books. You find out that Nigeria is prominently mentioned. So Nigeria is a big time player in the world politics and the world governance. We might not know it, but we are not using our advantage to our best. We are using our advantage to our we are using our position to our disadvantage. That's why you look at the cost and benefit. We are really paying dearly for what we are giving to the world. We are not giving the world the best. Government will sit down and tell you that the diaspora remittance is about 20 billion. It's far, far less than what we should get. It's far, far less than what we get. There are a lot of Nigerians that are not documented, that are working, and they are helping to develop other economies.
So unfortunately here, the government is not looking beyond this so-called bogus foreign remittances.
Well, look at what they're looking at. It's copper. You can earn more. You can. Okay, look at the issue of the Liberian president that came recently that said he wants a certain number of teachers. That should be an export. Look at Brazil. Brazil exports footballers all over the world. They encourage them to even nationalize. There's no country of the world today that you not see a Brazilian that have nationalized. That's their own way of also migrating their citizens legally. You see Brazilians that is playing for Chinese. You see for Brazilians that is playing for Saudis. You see Brazilians playing because they know what it is in for them.
Okay. Our lines are already blinking. I do know so many of our listeners out there would want to be a part of this conversation. Share your counsel, share your experience. Yes, we need this experience so as to serve as deterrent to many who are already probably being misled as we speak right now, or who are even contemplating embarking on this very hazardous trip. The number to call in is 081 8999 1011 081 8999 1011. Call in, and if you have some experience to share with us along these lines as far as migration is concerned, illegal migration, human trafficking is concerned. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Could you turn?
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on People's Embassy. Who am I speaking with?
You are speaking with Mrs. Agwati.
Mrs. Augustine.
Agwati, yes.
All right, Mrs. Augustine. What do you have to say about the topic of discussion?
Now, what I have to say is that you people should not blame the poor masses. Mm-hmm. Because looking for the way to be better for them to survive. And you people should focus to blame our government. Because our government is not up to date. They are not mindful of the poor masses. They are only mindful of themselves. So you people should not be blaming those that are struggling to survive by themselves. Because if they remain here, still, you people will still blame them. So that is my own contribution.
Okay, thank you.
Anything that you people can do to make sure that these people stop to migrate outside, well, people can do it. And also talk to their government.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Augustine. Your point is noted there, but then we also need to draw your attention to the fact that Nobody here is blaming the victim per se or Nigerians per se. We're just looking at the factors, and we listed that as one of the factors that actually drives this. The government has a key role to play in this. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello?
Good afternoon and welcome to the People's Embassy. Well, we lost that. Could you try reaching us again? The number is 08189991011. Call in and share your experience with us, or you know someone who had passed through this very perilous lane and came back surviving, or sometimes fell victim, lost someone along this very, very bad route. Share this experience with us so as to serve as deterrent to others. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Welcome to the People's Embassy.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, my name is Mr. Amesley Anthony.
Amesley?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to congratulate you through this medium and then to say you should all keep up what you are doing.
We appreciate it.
All I needed to say and to add to what your guest is saying is that he made a mention of the fact that he said whatever a Nigerian put his hand into goes out of hand. And that statement, I don't think it is fair to every Nigerian. So that's the point I'm trying to let him see if he can even withdraw it.
Okay.
Thank you.
We appreciate that, Mr. Anthony. I want to say that it could have been a slip of tongue. It never could have been what he really meant to say. And as far as we are concerned, we do have very decent, credible, and very, very genuine Nigerians who have been pushing and lifting the image of this country to higher heights. And we'll continue to be proud of them. Thank you so very much.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate what he's saying, but that statement, I didn't like it. That's why.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Anthony, for directing our attention to that. All right, you're still listening to the People's Embassy live on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, Abuja. And this is a program where we highlight issues relating to the rights of the individual to getting quality service from airlines, travel agents, and other issues relating to travels in general. We also focus our attention on migration issues as well. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Good afternoon. Who's speaking, please?
Sir. Hello?
Yes, your name and your location, sir.
My name is Ayo.
Ayo, thank you for joining us on the phone. Okay. Welcome, Ayo. Go ahead and make your contribution.
Oh, thank you very much. I want to ask a question. Is it possible for all the Nigerians to listen to what you are saying, please?
This is possible in a way, and then on another hand, I'll say it's not possible. But then our target is that majority, a large population of Nigerians are listening to what we're saying here, or listening to what we're talking.
Okay. Please, I want to share my own experience.
Please go ahead, Mr. Ayo.
I traveled down to London year 2005 and year 2008.
Okay.
So something happened at the gate of, at the Heathrow Airport,
Yes,
at the
sir.
point of entry. A man was asked, in fact, I was the one behind him. At the point of entry, the man there asked him, how many months do you want to stay in Europe? The man said, three months. And that man questioned him, how much are you holding with you? He said, £100. And those people questioned him that you wanted to come and spend 3
months
in London, and you are holding £100. And that was, they asked him to follow the policeman around that place. When it came to my turn, I was asked the same question. and I was having 10 pounds with me. So when they asked me the question, I only answered them, I want to spend 2 weeks. The man just stamped my own passport, and I left. I went to go and wait outside. So in order to know what will happen to that man.
The fate of that fellow Nigerian.
I did not see the man till the time I left. So I want you to please help me to advise the Nigerians. If they want to travel, they should know the requirement of that country in terms of finances and any other things. Thank you. That's my own contribution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ayo, for that enlightenment. And we are assuring you that this particular platform, the station Human Rights Radio as it is focused on enlightening Nigerians on their rights and whatever you need to do in order to ensure that your right stays intact. We promise you will keep doing that. Now, very quick one, Celestine. You just hit that point there. Now, assuming he traveled genuinely, okay, he wasn't trafficked. He wasn't trafficked in this instance. He went there on his own, thinking that probably he'll be able to beat the immigrations there and get into London. But how do you now juxtapose this with a case of somebody who is being compelled to get to that particular point?
If I because I will look at it from two sides. Probably he was also illegally given a visa.
Okay, may we take this call, please? Hello. Very sorry about that. Could you keep trying once again? 1-8189991011. Go ahead, please.
Because every regular traveler always know what is required of him or her. If I give a situation of for you to migrate to Europe now, you want to go to Europe for holidays or for business, the minimum you are expected to spend in a day is close to about 50 to 60 euro for feeding and for hotel. So if you multiply that by the number of days you are probably going to stay, you should know how much you should carry. So for somebody that is having 100 pounds, you are not a citizen of that country, you don't have a welfare, neither do you have insurance, because first of all, for you to be in UK or Europe for that long, you need an health insurance, because you are not allowed to access their health insurance or enjoy social services as you are there. So those things are probably going to involve costs. Let me say, okay, if it's going to stay for 3 months, that's about 90 days. So is he going to pay £1 per day room? Or is he going to be feeding on £1 per day for the 30 days, for the 90 days it's going to stay? So probably, like I just started with my introduction, probably he was not properly informed. Probably somebody helped him to procure the visa. He never had information of where he was going. Yes, people also are illegally migrated from Nigeria. People who know how to beat the process to procure you visa, and you get the visa, but you don't have the information and you don't know where you're going. You are told what to say at the point of entry, but for most of them are not smart enough as the entry officer you meet at any airport that probably are psychologically very smart. They know the question to ask you that will put you off. They can just tell you, welcome to London. What city are you going to? Automatically, they will put you off. But for somebody that is migrating legally, he has an idea of where he's going to. If you're going to London, you are probably going to stay in an hotel or probably in a friend's accommodation. You are supposed to know the address of where you are going to. You are supposed to know the bus station of where you are going to take. So you can't just say you get to the airport and they ask you, where are you going? You say, I don't know, or you don't have an authority. So probably some people are migrated legally illegal.
Okay, let me hear from Lloyd this time around. Are we saying that a lack of education, lack of enlightenment is another key factor that is driving so many Nigerians, to fall into the hands of these traffickers?
Yes, some of them are ignorance of the fact that they could run into trouble even as they migrate from Nigeria abroad. And again, in the case of you know, the Nigerian that was hacked at the airport. Don't be surprised. It's possible, you know, somebody was around, you know,
expecting him or her.
Yeah, expecting him, and who would, you know, go back to the airport in the end of the day and, you know, sort the guy out, and
That's depending on if they are sortable.
Yes, because I had an experience with a victim.
Okay.
She was in a group from Libya to Italy. So they were, of course, they were hacked. Just the same story he gave us. They were hacked at the airport, but they had the big madam. They call them Big Auntie. She was with them, who later, the lady later went back to the immigration and, you know, settled the immigration. Of course, they were trafficked from, Libya to Italy. So you have several, such cases. They are not new cases.
So what you're saying essentially is that when we complain about the porous nature, the negligence, at our own immigration services, similar situations occur over there.
It's very porous.
There's a syndicate operating.
It's an organized crime.
Yeah,
it's one of the biggest industry in the world.
Yes.
These things are not just done by small boys. These are done by big-time politicians,
retired ambassadors,
government officials.
Don't you guys see that it's going to be a very Herculean task for our government to be able to curb this menace?
No,
because since it has international dimension.
No. If I'll give you an example of two countries, you see, if your government is not doing enough, you're probably going to have that challenge. If I give an example of Sweden, you hardly have Swedish citizens having that challenge of migration. Because you are born to a system, a welfare system that takes care of you from birth to death. They treasure even when you are dead. I can give an example of United Arab Emirates. If you go to United Arab Emirates, you find you can hardly see their citizens on the streets. They are well catered for. So you're probably going to have that challenge with countries that don't have this big basic welfare system or social system. And most of those countries are always in Africa and Central America and the rest of them, especially around the coastal region of Africa that gives us access to the sea and the rest of them. And people are not only.
May we take this call, please? Okay. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the People's Embassy. Who am I speaking with, please?
Yeah, speaking with Edward.
Edward.
I want to throw a bit of light on this topic.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
First of all, we should look at all the gray areas. The government in question has not been encouraging in any way. I'll name at the doorstep of the government.
We are all in agreement with
that. You have a program known as Big Brother Nigeria taking, and the winner takes 45 million home. With what talent? It is not even a talent show.
At all.
It's not something that one could say it will build the person up later. These are some group of persons being put in a place, and at the end of the day, give them 45 million. Now, you have the same people who are lacking within the streets, and they dream of this same 45 million, that how they wish they have that chance. The government has never put any program in place whereby talents could be affected. I was listening when either one of you were throwing light on Brazil about football. They throw their people around for football. Look, that's that talent. Those are materials they are sending out there. What materials have this government or the government whatsoever affected? Nothing. You don't have a program. Back then, we had science competition, try to bring up new ideas, new innovation, and you can create a very good grant for them. And it should be not something that should be one petty thing. You have Big Brother for 5 million, you have another program of 500,000 naira. How will one survive with that? But when you have a big program and you say, the winner for this science quiz is going to have a take home of 50 million, you see people trying to look into education. Those are ways government can really encourage the youth. Do you understand? Majority of these immigrants you are talking about are youth. It's not just an average man. It's not an adult. These are youth kids. People's kids that have been, sent all everywhere around the world. And it's very pathetic. We cannot say that, okay, because Nigeria is the bigger country, okay, it's easier to give us a bad name. Look, other countries, yes, are having migration, but people, legal migrants they are talking about, they have something that they want to put on the table. We don't have any. Our people leave the shores of this country not having one idea of what they want to go and do there. Their bottom line is, when I get there, I will know what to do. And really, that is the kind of materials we are having right now. Because the government doesn't even have anything. Talk of football. What talent are we talking about? Is it our league? Our league is it's not encouraging. Nobody youth wants to come and I want to learn how to play football because it's hoping that you get somewhere with it. So this issue of immigration we are talking about, it will still lay it at the doorstep of the government.
Okay.
This is chasing shadows of how they'll be re-elected and this and that. Leaving the main thing of governance. Governance is not just putting physical structure. You have to put manpower, skills. You have to put the citizens right. It is not just physical structure. So that's my take, please.
Thank you very much, Edward. Well, it still falls back on the lap of government. Round and round we keep going, but then the truth remains that the government has not really lived up to the aspirations of the people. Now, very quickly, we're running out of time already. Lois, could you react to this last caller, Edward? He said government, government, and government.
Yes, we've been talking about, government has a very big role to play. I'm sorry to say that if we continue like this, if we continue in this fight, in this manner, we may fight this fight forever.
But no improvement.
Yes.
No change.
No change, no improvement. Because I'm afraid, because when I visited 2 schools in Malaysia, when I went to see Nigerian students, the proprietors of these schools called me, different schools, and told me, please, take this message to your government. Tell your government to sensitize Nigerian parents to stop sending their children to this place. So even the schools over there is a way they cover up this whole crime, just to them helping these Nigerians out there. They cover up with education, whereas they are not actually going to school there. They've gone there to do all manner of things there. So for them to send a message to Nigerian government, meaning they know what they are saying. So I'm appealing to Nigerian government, if they want this fight, if they want us to achieve a desired goal in this fight, as in curbing human trafficking that is causing a lot of harm to the society, the government should be genuine.
Okay.
They should come out genuine.
I have to interject right there because the time is very much on the other side, not on our side at all. Celestine, very quickly, 30 seconds.
The government should do the basic thing. You can see there's an uproar now about a senator collecting 13.5 million just to provide, whether he offers a service, whether he doesn't offer a service. As far as he brings the receipts, it becomes a problem. If that 13 million was invested into the community or a society, you know what the change will be. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for staying with us on the program, The People's Embassy. And I want to say thanks so very much to Lois Adams, anti-human trafficking campaigner, and Celestine EJ. The program will return on Saturday, the same time, 4 p.m. Stay with us. My name is Inyene Ibanga. Until then, keep listening to Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM, Abuja.